All right, guys, today we got something very special for you. Today we are here in Lone Mountain, this area on the northwest, and I'm actually with Darin Marques. This is his listing, and he's got a lot of projects that he's taken on out here. So let's talk about this project first and foremost. Let's talk about the location, because I remember a couple years ago, this area, homes are averaging 1.5, 2 million, right? And I noticed that you took on this listing, and there's a lot of custom homes being built. Like, what's going on around this area?
So first of all, the vision of the developer out here, he
Okay.
was raised in Section 10, which I know you're familiar
Yeah.
with, kind of center of town now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that was very unique about that area is that it was all custom homes. And unlike a lot of the HOA communities where, you have this consistent theme of design, he wanted an area that was a little bit more diverse in the styles
Mm-hmm.
of homes. So you could have everything from something more traditional to contemporary, modern. And so that's really what he started to develop out here, and it was his vision. So he started with, he's got 65 acres out here right now. When we're all said and done, we're going to have anywhere between 39 to 41 custom homes. To really get the momentum going out here, he is actually, dug in, put a ton of skin in the game, and is building spec homes out here himself. And these are 100% completely turnkey. You move in, basically you got the key, you can move into the house is ready to go. And all these homes now are ranging out here from anywhere in the high 2 millions up to as high as 7 million with some of the customs that are going to be completed. And we've got everything out here from a half-acre lot up to as large as 1 acre lot out here at the estates.
Okay, so what's the difference between here, like the Ridges, McDonough Highlands? Typically, high-end worth individuals, they tend to flock to those areas because they're like more golf communities, mass plan communities. Why are people transitioning out to this location now?
So it's interesting, man. One of my first clients out here was actually a client of mine from Sqft,
Okay.
which was shocking to me that they moved clearly, all the way across town. Another client here came from Queensridge Towers. What I'm finding with most of the clients that are coming out here, and we're seeing this even when we do the open houses, probably a third of our clientele is from Summerlin or the Ridges specifically. A couple things. One, a lot of people are complaining that they're already starting to feel like those areas have become very congested and very busy. Also, I'm finding that there's become a high desire for more space. So a lot of clients really love it out here. One, I mean, you can hear today how quiet it is out here,
Yeah.
right? Even with all the construction going on, it's super quiet. But people just want more space, man. I mean, you've got 1 acre lots out here, even with the smallest lots, which are a half acre. You don't feel like you're right on top of everyone. Also, a lot of people like that you don't have the restrictions of the HOA, that you've got a little bit more flexibility with design styles. So that's why we're starting to see a lot of people gravitate out here. And then the location. So, you can't see it from here because you've got Lone Mountain right there. But right behind Lone Mountain is the 215.
Yeah.
So you're just a few minutes away from the 215. You're 12 minutes from downtown Summerlin. So really, it's pretty convenient still to downtown Summerlin and to all the amenities that you need. And that's why I really start to think or see that we're having a lot of people come out here. And then you factor that in with just the cost per square foot. Where else in town could you get a high-end custom home completely finished and turnkey for less than $700 a square foot? There's really nowhere.
And all this right here is part of the development?
This is all future development. So you've got the first areas over there that were completed, where all the land's developed.
Okay.
That's the 1 acre and 3/4 acre lots. Across the street is area 6. This is going to be another 9 half-acre lots, completely different design than what we're going to see today in area 5. And he'll begin construction on those probably within the next 4 months. Then he's got another 25 acres down the street. And that's going to have more of a Eagle Hills type feel when he's all said and done, where it's going to be like tree-lined streets, maybe a little bit more traditional feel. And then, of course, you've got Area 5 here. And Area 5 is 9 half-acre lots in the cul-de-sac. And all of these are a more modern design.
Okay, can we go take a look at some of the product here?
Let's head that way.
All right, so this is Section 5, you're saying? What is it called?
Area
5.
Yep.
Okay.
So you've got 9 lots in here. These are all half-acre. We've got 3 different plans in here. Plan 1, Plan 2, Plan 3. The Virga, the Eclipse, and the Spire. The Virga is the first home that we completed. That was a single story. That was a 4-bedroom with a NextGen suite, just under 4,000 square feet. That home sold before it even hit the market, or before it was even finished. We've got 1 more of those going here in the community. And then this here to your right, or to the cameraman's left, is the Plan 2, which is actually the same floor plan as Plan 1, a single story, but they added a 5th bedroom or media room upstairs. So for anybody that likes that floor plan, that still wants that single story living with the main suite on the main floor, then a plan 2 would be really great for them. And you can see we've got 2 more of those right now that are just in the stucco stage. We've got 2 more that are getting ready to break ground right now on the vacant lots. And then as you can see, we've got 2 that are currently under construction, 30 to 60 days out from completion. Then of course, lot 6 that we're gonna walk today that is fully completed right now and ready to sell.
So when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that the developer is delivering a full packaged product, correct?
Yes. Yep.
What does that mean for the viewers?
So I think most people, when they come into a new home community like this, right, they expect the traditional way of purchasing a new home. Either let's use, one of your track builders where you're going to go in, you're going to pick a specific floor plan, you may pick a style of finishes, and then you still have to put your landscaping in and your pool and all of that. And if you want home automation, you've got to pay for all those upgrades. So I find sometimes it can become very frustrating for a buyer in the luxury space because let's say they walk into a community planning that they're only going to spend 1.5, maybe 1.8 million. And next thing you know, they're out the door at 2.8 or 3 million because of all the upgrades that they had to put into it. Here, he did it a little bit differently. He didn't want the clients to become frustrated. He wanted them to know exactly what they're getting when they come into the community. So all of the homes here are 100% turnkey, meaning that you've got your pool in, your landscaping, your Control 4 home automation system, sound system all throughout the house. I mean, this house is ready to go. And again, you're talking under $700 a square foot.
Now, what's the build time for something like this by the time you go under contract?
So most of these, we're not even putting on the market until we're about 90 days out.
Okay.
But typically, most of these he's completing within like 8 to 9 months. And that's the other reason why he likes doing spec versus custom build. Obviously, when you're doing a custom build, there's a lot more opinions involved. There's changes that happen. When he's doing a spec home, he can pick what finishes and stuff that he wants, and then he can just go, right? And then he can get the house completed quicker. So he's got 3 different interior design finishes in here. The one that we're going to see today is the refined industrial. He's got a warm modern, and then he's got a modern minimalistic, which was the first home that we sold. And so it's got 3 different styles. He completes the home, and then it's kind of like, take it or leave it, right? Like it's really nice. I'm finding that's the other thing too. A lot of clients really love this because they like to just come in and know that the house is completely done. I find people are just not wanting to go through the process of picking things out anymore, right? So that's what's been really nice and really, I think where a lot of the success has come so far with what he's done with these products.
Yeah, and I think you make a good point because what I've noticed is a lot of consumers, they want to touch, they want to feel, and they want to see what they get.
Yep.
And I like the fact that you guys don't even put it on the market until they're about 3 months till completion.
Exactly.
By then, you already kind of have a really general idea of what comes with the product.
And you can see, it's not a typical just builder product either.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone above and beyond. You've got the aggregate concrete. You've got the Black River rock tied into this. As I'd mentioned to you earlier, you can see the landscaping. It doesn't cheap out on the landscaping. You've got over $250,000 in landscaping. You've got all the metal work around the roof here. So you can see all the really nice metal work that's been done as well. And then, of course, all the custom iron work with the privacy gates, the security gate, and all that as you go into the house.
Well, I can't wait to go inside.
Let's go take a look, man. So this home, just to give you some details on it, is just under 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
The great thing with it is it does live as a single story. So you've got your primary bedroom downstairs, and then you've got 3 down, you've got 1 up, and the 1 up is the NextGen suite on this property.
Now, from a construction standpoint, let's talk about insulation, energy efficient. What comes with that?
So that's the other nice thing is, all of the exterior walls, of course, are going to be insulated. You've got a cocoon insulation system on the ceiling. All your interior walls are insulated as well, which I like to point out because a lot of people don't think about how important that is, not just from a temperature control standpoint, but also for noise reduction, right? If you got a lot of people in your home, or usually when you have these big homes, you can walk in and you can tell when the interior walls have not been insulated because the whole home just echoes.
So is that also batten insulation or blown-in insulation?
Batten insulation on the interiors. Yeah.
So basically, if you guys don't understand what he's saying is all the interior walls, typically builders, what they'll do is on the outside of the walls, those will be insulated, but in the interior walls are not insulated. Here, it's actually insulated. I feel like for energy efficient, for me, they say it doesn't work, but I feel like it does. And for sound barrier, I think it also works very well
Big
too
time.
as well.
Yep.
And let's talk about the cocoon, because here's the thing. When it comes to insulation inside your attic, you can do blown-in insulation, you can do foam. And let's talk about the cocoon, how that actually works.
So just it's basically keeping all of the, it's basically sealed in a way to keep all of the heating and all that out, limits the air holes and that type of stuff where you're gonna have maybe infiltration of heat and stuff like that coming into the home. So it's just a much better way to insulate. Also on the windows that he's used here, you've got vinyl windows with a thermal break all throughout. So it's gonna limit the heat transition through into the house as well. It's another thing that a lot of people don't think about on these big homes. They have these huge windows, huge metal frames all around them. Well, that metal frame radiates heat into the house.
Yes.
So if you don't have that thermal break within the window, you're getting that heat that's transferring into the home as well, which makes it much more difficult to control the temperature of the house.
Now, one thing I've noticed as soon as I walked in here, we're talking about the windows. I've noticed that certain windows are certain colors to match the wall. So like the framing is white with the white walls. We have black framings here to bring out some contrast. So it's the attention to detail. Now, that being said, we talked about square footage. How many bedrooms, bathrooms again on this one?
So we got 4 bedrooms, 5 bath. You've got 4th bedroom is upstairs, and you've got additional powder here. You've got a really nice office with this custom 4-foot pivot door that he did, the custom wood door. And this style here we talked about is the refined industrial. So it's a combination of natural woods, metals, that type of stuff. So really, you know, I find that as couples have walked into the home, it's really been a good blend because it kind of fits what they're both looking for, right? The guys, they usually want something that's a little more industrial, and women want something a little softer. And they've done a really great job on blending the two together.
And that's perfect, because that's very hard, especially on the high-end clients. The wife has one style, the husband has a different style, and it's kind of hard to merge that too, trust me.
Absolutely.
I've been married 21 years now. I know exactly how that works.
Exactly.
I've got one whole thought process. She's like, no, we're going to design it like this, and it doesn't work.
No, this is a happy medium here. So you've got the nice wood floors. As you can see, you've got some wood finish on the cabinets there as well, tied in with the black cabinets, so it really helps offset that and warm it up a little bit versus just having all black in here. And you know, the developer even mentioned he was a little concerned with it feeling too masculine when he completed it. And so I think he did a really good job on allowing, you know, giving some diversity to it and really doing a nice job on the transition from the warmer feel with the woods to the more industrial feel. So
I definitely love the LED lights. It gives you really that nice warm feeling.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And I like the natural colors, black countertops, and just the cabinets alone, zero threshold. I mean, just completely.
The other thing that's really cool
flat.
So I was mentioning to you, they use Control4 home automation system in here. So he's got built-in speakers throughout the house and all the key areas. What's really cool with the Control4 home automation system, you can actually change all the color of the lighting, and you can set scenes. So if you want something more upbeat, you're having a party and you want red lights and, you know, heavy music, then you can do that. If you want something that's softer, you just literally create these different scenes. It changes the music, it changes the lighting. It's a really cool feature of the home.
I've noticed we got some boosters around the house too as well for Wi-Fi signals. So I think that's a good idea, because a lot of these homes, they don't have that booster, and sometimes you can go into like a different room and there's no connection, believe it or not, right? So looks like you have a few of these around.
Yeah, and just to point out some of the things he did, I mean, even like the baseboards. You know, typically those are areas where you'll see a developer cut corners, right? Because it's something that maybe they feel that a consumer won't notice as much. But you can see he went with the higher 7-inch baseboards all throughout the home. So even though he's building these as a spec home, the reason he's able to keep these so affordable is that he's also the land developer. He owns the land. So keep that in mind, that, you know, when most spec home builders, developers, they go and buy land, they're usually buying it at a retail price, right? So that obviously adds a significant amount of cost to the construction of the home. The nice thing with him is he owns the land and he's building the homes. That's why he's been able to keep these so price competitive and still really deliver a really nice product, because he owns the land as well as building the home.
Let's talk about this main living area. There's a lot going on here.
So, you know, one of the first things to point out, and I think is a really important factor in large homes like this, tons of windows, you can see, so you're getting tons of natural light in here. I mean, it's actually funny, we were walking through here the other day, then he realized that none of the lights were on because it's just so bright in here, and I think he really did a great job with that. I like how he tied it in with this outdoor space here as well, because we know the indoor-outdoor living has become so popular, and I think especially for somebody that has a home like this, they're gonna want to entertain. And so he's created these nice little spaces that are kind of all separated, but still all integrated at the same time as well. and which I think is a really nice feature of this home.
Can we go take a look at the backyard?
Yeah, let's go take a look at the back, man.
I do like how we have this wood that transitioned to this wood tile, and it pretty much matches. You couldn't
Yeah.
even tell.
Yep. Nope. It's as close as you're going to get, I think.
So this is a pretty large backyard.
Yeah.
So this what sits on half an acre?
This is a half acre. So that's another nice thing that he did with these. So the way that he designed this lot and the home is that this home is able to sit further on the lot. So you're able to maximize the backyard. And you know, so many people ask me now with the changes on the pool size as well, like, oh, is this the new 600 square foot pool? And I'm like, yes, it is. I think this is a great demonstration of what we're going to begin to see in backyards. Now that the pools have gone a little bit smaller, obviously you still have a nice sized pool, can fit plenty of people in there. But the nice thing is you're able to do a lot more with your backyard and really have a lot of nice backyard space. And you can see, again, the amount of landscaping. He's really proud of his landscaping, which he should be, because he's put a lot of time and effort into it. You've got a lot of beautiful flowers and everything out here. So it really makes it a nice little area back here for people to come and hang out. You know, it's not like you see in some of these homes when they finish them as a spec. They've got like 3 trees in the back and that's it. He's gone all out on the landscaping here.
What I like about this is that we're sitting on a half an acre, and try buy something like this in the ridges. You don't really get a lot this large, believe it or not. It's just
and you're at $1,200 a square foot.
All right, what else do we got?
So let's head in this way. We'll go to the right, and I'll take you down through the primary and stuff. So of course you've got your dining room here, and I like how he designed this as well. So one of the things I was pointing out to somebody the other day, I found that over the years people were using their dining rooms less and less, right?
Yeah.
Because really the kitchen space and the whole entertainment area has really now kind of become one, because you don't have somebody just stand, you know, in the kitchen by themselves cooking. Everything is integrated now. And so I like what he did with the dining room area here, because instead of having it set off as a, you know, formal dining room area like what you would see in some of the older homes where nobody ever uses it, he's incorporated this into the rest of the home. So this is very functional. I see somebody using this on a daily basis. And if you didn't want a traditional dining room, you could easily convert this. I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, look, man, you could easily convert this into your little, you know, poker room area or whatever. You've got your bar here and everything as well. So I like how he designed this. And then again, it's incorporated with the indoor, outdoor as you come into the house.
I think it's well designed. I mean, having parties, I mean, you got places to sit here. You can literally, it's completely open. You can see everybody.
Yeah,
so
and you're still in the room with everyone. So let's head down the hall here. So we'll go to the right, and this is our primary bedroom here. Again, wood flooring all throughout. As you walk in, this is something I pointed out to a client the other day that I really like that he did as well. A lot of times you'll find that the way that the primary bedroom is positioned, you're kind of looking right into your primary bathroom, right? And then there's not a lot of privacy. So if you've got an early riser, somebody who gets up before the other one, you know, they're dealing with the lights and stuff like that. I like how he's tucked the primary behind this. So you've got complete privacy in there. So if you're in here still sleeping, you're not going to be disrupted with that.
It's amazing that we also added some windows here too as well to bring in some light. Normally this would just be drywalled all the way up.
Exactly.
So I like that.
Yeah, he did a really good job with bringing all the natural light into the home.
So it looks like we also have distribute sounds here too as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice fireplace, beautiful cladding.
Yep.
Okay. Obviously these are LED lights, so they do change color. Does this radiant heat as well?
So he's got electric fireplaces all through the home. I can tell you personally, I just put one in my house. I love it versus using gas. It pumps out the heat. But the nice thing is that even during the warmer times of year, you can still turn it on for the lighting to still create the ambiance, which I think is a nice feature of the fireplace versus having it off 90% of the year.
Let's go take a look at this bathroom.
Yeah. So you've got 2 walk-in closets here. And again, he finished everything out. So if somebody moves in, this is completely turnkey. You've got your built-in closet systems already ready to go. And as you can see, he's got plenty of racks there for shoes and everything else. So
I like the fact that he skinned the back too, so that way it gives you that more of the custom look. Because sometimes when they install this, to cut costs, right, with developers, they won't even skin the back. So that gives that extra custom look. Also, I love the fact that this identifies this is hers and this is his.
Exactly.
You can see. So I actually like that. It's pretty cool.
This one's very masculine.
Yes.
Yep. Much more feminine over here. So. And then as you come into here, you've got your water closet off to the left. Also, he did a really nice job with kind of like, you've got a lot of storage here and you almost don't even realize it. One, because of the black cabinets, all the cabinetry's kind of, it almost feels hidden. And then he's tucked it away in certain areas. So you've got tons of built-in cabinetry here for storage. Then you've got this outdoor shower. And again, he added windows here to bring in the natural light so it doesn't feel like a cave back here. And again, I think that was really smart, especially with going with the refined industrial look, adding the windows in here for that additional sunlight, I think was a really important thing.
And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we got the tray ceilings with the LED lights cladding on the top too, gives that custom look. It feels elegant as soon as you walk in, and
Absolutely.
I love this because you're walking straight into nature right here.
Yep.
So that's a plus. All right, let's take a look at this.
And then this is what I love about the guy. I'm going to point something out. So
yes,
we're like halfway through construction on this house.
Okay.
And he goes, Darin, I've decided it's too dark in there. I'm going to cut this wall out. So he cuts this wall out midway through, puts this window in here, and he puts a Zen garden in. Because his vision was that, you know, somebody's here in their tub, they're looking out, they want to look at something peaceful, not just stare at the wall.
Yes.
And so I think it was a really great idea that he did that. And again, you're bringing in tons of natural light, but with the trees and all the bushes there, it still creates a ton of privacy. And then he did the custom iron work around it as well. So you've got that added privacy gate looking into here.
love the fact that there's different levels on the concrete as well, because you have these beautiful rocks.
Yep.
That's actually elevated with the self-freestanding tub. Then you have your zero threshold walk-in shower. Then it also takes you right out to the outside. Linear windows too as well. And you have LED strips all the way around, which is really nice. So that means you got to frame it out and also do the drywall. So there's a lot of work on the construction side just to get this
Oh,
look.
yeah, because essentially you got to drop the
Yeah.
ceiling down. Yeah. Yep.
So beautiful.
And then again, tons of cabinetry here, tons of drawers, large space, large vanity. So you've got plenty of room for both parties to be able to have all their stuff out here and not be in each other's way. And then again, he did the backlighting behind the mirror as well, which I think is really cool.
Look at this industrial handle right here.
I know, it's like one of my favorite handles.
This is
man.
actually really cool. Look at this. I got to turn it on. I don't know why.
Isn't that cool?
I don't know where he got this. But
That's like
this
my
is-
favorite part.
Yes, this is really cool. Attention to detail, guys.
Yes, yes. Just the little unique things that
Yeah.
he did in the house. And that's the other thing with this developer. You know, I mean, he is very involved, man. I can tell you, it also makes the clients feel very good when they purchase here. Most of them have met him.
Yeah.
He's out here almost on a daily basis. His attention to detail is very detailed. I mean, he's here in these homes, walking them every day, and he's going to be living here in the community as well. So I always share that with clients because I think it's important for them to know because, you know, they're making a huge investment in this community, right? And they want to know, like, where's it going, who's behind it. And so it's nice when they get to meet him. They always like him, and it really makes them feel much better about where they're purchasing at because they know that he's here on site all
So
the
he's
time.
very active with the clients, it seems like.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always that you would bring in a developer or the owner to meet the clients, but I always like him to meet the clients because it's part of my sales process. I want to make sure they know who's behind it, and it just adds that extra level of comfort to the buyer. So.
All right, what else we got?
All right, so we'll head back out this way. We'll go to the right, and you'll see the secondary bedrooms and the laundry room. So as you come down this way, you've got a nice sized laundry room here. Let me kick on the lights. You've got a nice sized laundry room. Again, he's got plenty of wall space here too. So if you wanted to add some additional shelf and pull, you could do that over here. You'll have your side-by-side front loading washer and dryer here, and then tons of cabinetry. And again, I like how he brought the natural light into here because nobody wants to feel like they're in a cave when they're doing laundry, right? So, and then we'll head down here to the secondaries. So nice, and again, this two-story lives as a single story. You've got your primary on the main floor, these two additional bedrooms. They're all en suite. So you've got a nice size secondary bedroom here. Each room has its own closet and bathroom. So really nice for guests or kids or whoever you've got living with you.
So we got 8-foot doors, 10-foot ceilings. Again, makes it look more custom with the doors.
Absolutely.
Beautiful hardware. If you take a look at this, look how industrial this thing actually looks.
All textured,
but it
all
also looks
throughout.
modern too. I mean, look at this, the grip on this thing.
Yeah.
These little things really pique my interest, believe it or not. This is kind of like that geeky stuff.
Well, it's good to point out because, you know, I think sometimes consumers, maybe if they're not as familiar with construction, they can walk through these homes. And it's little things like this is where the cost can add up greatly. And this is usually the little areas where a lot of spec home builders will cut corners because they think that the consumer is not going to notice that stuff, right? And here, he wanted to make sure these are homes that he would want to live in himself.
So this is another room
This
right
is
here?
another secondary bedroom here. This one's set up a little bit differently. We've got the bathroom here, and then the closet's actually tucked into the the bathroom itself.
Okay, I like that. Nice. All right, can we go take a look at the other stuff?
Yeah, let's head down. We'll take a look at the office, and then we'll head up and we'll look at the NextGen suite. Also the single stringer floating staircase with all the custom ironwork on it as well. And we'll take a look at that in a minute. This is the office space.
I love the pivot door.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And the nice thing is, especially if you work from home, man, you can close that door, keep private in here. If you've got guests or clients coming over, you don't want them going into your main part of your home, you can have them come in through the side door here. And then again, you've got that nice little private courtyard when you come into the home where you've got the security gate and all of that. So
I'm telling you, this house has a lot of light coming into it. It just seems developers are now starting to incorporate a lot of windows.
yes, yep. So this is another powder bathroom here.
Okay.
And again, I mean, check out these lights. I think it's one of the cool things that he did. You've got
And
the
I love the
smoke
mirror.
in the back.
Beautiful mirror. Beautiful vessel sink.
And then we'll come down this way. This is your mud room coming in from the garage. The one thing in why I want to point this out, why it's so important, you've got somebody that understands the area where you're building as well. So a lot of clientele that move to the Northwest, they move to the Northwest because they've got a lot of toys, right?
Yeah.
They ride motocross, they ride their ATVs, all that type of stuff. They've got tons of equipment, helmets and all that stuff that they're bringing in. And his vision was, you know, you come in from riding, you're going to set all your stuff here, drop your bags and all of that, be able to take your boots off and head into the house. So very well thought out in the way that he designed this because he allowed for those areas to be incorporated into the home when building.
All right, and this takes us right into the garage.
Into the garage, yep. And you've got 4-car garage.
So we got 2 tankless hot water heaters.
Yep.
Custom doors. These are very expensive doors here. This is not a standard garage door, obviously.
And you've got your side-driven motors as well, which is an important thing just for the noise, right? I mean, we all know that the chain-driven garage door openers are much louder. So this keeps a nice soft noise when they're opening, so it's not loud and clanky. And then you've got enough room here that if you wanted to stack your cars, you could do a lift in here and stack your cars as well. So.
I think that's important to point out because if you do your regular garage door opener, you would actually have a stem coming down the center. So if you had one of those car lifts, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly.
And this is kind of gives you that more custom look too as well. It's more streamlined. So.
Yep. And he's got the 240 built in for electric cars, so all ready to go here.
Nice. Again, we have a window here, bringing in some light, windows here, and windows right here. Also, the garage is fully finished, epoxied, and as you can see, we got the baseboards textured and paint too as well.
And fully insulated out here as well.
Oh, nice. And it's insulated,
Yep.
guys.
So if you want to put a mini split in here to cool it, then you can do that and keep it nice and cool. All right, now we'll head upstairs to the NextGen.
So one thing I noticed about the stairs, we got a single stem, very industrial look.
Yep.
And it's steel, which is really nice. And as you can see how it's just floating. And then we have this window, again, from floor to ceiling.
Yeah.
And I like that because it brings in a lot of light, guys.
Yeah, you don't feel enclosed in this little area, you know?
You know what? In this house, I feel like you're incorporating outside and you're literally bringing it
100%,
in.
yeah.
Like you don't feel closed in at all.
No.
That's what I like about this.
And it's nice with all the landscaping and everything that he's done. You're bringing all that greenery from the outside in. So this is one of my favorite rooms up here. This is what he had envisioned as his man cave.
Okay.
So, you know, he envisioned having blackout drapes on here, shut it down, you put your large TV up here. This was going to become his media room. And then, of course, you can see the beautiful views of Lone Mountain Park right there in Lone Mountain. And so you really, again, he's capturing the nice views up here. While we're up here, something I wanted to point out, because I think this is a really cool feature of the home. You can see how he built in this skylight outside in the overhang. And that was intentional for 2 reasons. One, he wanted to block out some of that direct sunlight coming into the home. So architecturally, they designed this so that as the sun is passing over, you're never getting direct sunlight into the house.
It eventually moves.
Yep, but you're getting all natural light coming through, so it doesn't make it feel dark in here.
That's very interesting. Now, you can literally see mountains all the way around. Now, this mountain right here for Lone Mountain, you can hike this mountain too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Yep.
the one?
Yep, there's people. I'm surprised I don't see anybody up there today. There's usually people up there every day, man. That's a pretty popular hiking spot out here.
And as we were driving down here, there's a bunch of parks too as well. I think we need to mention that because you see a lot of kids just playing.
That park, when it's completed, they're actually, it's continue, and this is phase 1 of the park.
Yeah.
Phase 2 will actually go across Lone Mountain Road. It will be the 3rd largest park in southern Nevada when it's completed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I do want to point out is that if we take a look at some of these grills here
Yep.
for the AC unit, they're all
the
linear,
linear vents.
so
Yeah.
they're very streamlined, so I do like that.
Yeah.
Gives that custom look.
That's a great thing you pointed out too, because people don't realize, I mean, again, talking about where he didn't spare any expense on the building of these homes, in the areas where he could use those, he put them in. And that's a significant increase in cost to the construction of the home.
Because you got to frame that out, and you got to install it, then you got to drywall it too as well. And as you can see, there's not a grill. That's why it looks very streamlined.
Yep.
So just wanted to point that out.
Another powder here.
Okay. Beautiful.
And then you come into here, and this is really more like the living room area for the NextGen. So we're now in the NextGen suite. This is your living room area. The thing I love about the way that he designed this is if you've got guests coming from out of town or something like that, they're going to be staying with you for a while, they really can live up here. And I like how he flipped it.
Yeah.
So you've got this living space on this side of the home, over the kitchen and great room area downstairs, and then your other living spaces on the opposite side of the home.
So you can't hear each other.
You're not going to hear each other. So you really could have somebody living up here independently and really living on their own and have their own space with their media room out there. It's like a whole second apartment up here, really.
Is the subfloors insulated as well?
Yes, everything's insulated in between. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
This is really, really, matter of fact, you know what? This is better than my primary bedroom. I'm gonna tell you guys that now. Because we got a bedroom here, living room here, then we have the loft. So basically, whoever comes here never has to go downstairs.
Yeah.
This is a whole living area, guys.
So you better make sure whoever you put up here you like.
Exactly.
Because they're probably not leaving. So
Then we have a balcony.
yeah, I love this. So I like what he did here. It's not, we're still about 98% completed on this home, just so you know. They're finishing up some of the landscaping and just some of the final touches. But they're going to be putting some additional greenery out here. You can see they're already starting to put the pots in.
Yeah.
But this is a planter here. So you'll have nice greenery all the way around here when it's all completed. And then, of course, you get some really beautiful views of the mountains. And then this is nice and spacious, right? So it's not just a little tiny balcony off of here. You've really got a ton of space out here. And then, of course, your overhang here to protect from the sun.
I just can't believe how much this area is growing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And by the time this project is done, all the other neighbors should actually thank the developer because they're about to raise the price in this area. Like, seriously.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I sold to a client out here about 19 months ago out here in the Northwest. Yeah. This is one of the areas of town where I've probably seen the greatest increase in values over the past 18 months. That client, they paid around 1.1 for their home. I just comped it out the other day for them. It's 2.5.
Oh, wow.
So, and even at that, the prices out here are still lower than anywhere else in town. And I think that's why we're really starting to see a lot of people gravitate out here, because they realize they can get a lot more for their money out here in the Northwest, a lot more space, and still get a really beautiful home for, 2/3 of the cost. So
that's true.
Yep. So let's head back this way, and I'll show you the living or the bedroom area here. So again, nice and spacious. You've got a walk-in closet here, and then you've got essentially a Jack and Jill bathroom there, so that if you've got a couple staying up here and one wants to be hanging out in the little living room area, still have both use of the bathroom.
I think that's such a great idea to have this Jack and Jill for that living room.
Yeah.
So that way you don't have to walk all the way around, and this is just perfect. No.
Yep.
This is a great idea.
Yeah.
Love the floor plan. Everything's all natural. I mean, everything's just very warm, very inviting.
Nice size walk-in shower.
And these are solid core doors
All
too,
solid core,
so
yep. All the way through.
It's not cheap, guys. Very, very pricey for these doors. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. But before we end this video, everybody wants to know if they wanted to buy this home today. Okay, first, what is the HOAs on this?
Yep. we're just under $200 a month on this. So you've got 2 HOA, sub HOA, or you've got your master HOA for all the plants and trees all the way around the outside of this, and then you've got a secondary HOA to cover just this subdivision for the gates and everything. So you're just right about at $200.
And property taxes on something like this?
That one, you're roughly right under 1% on these.
Okay.
So,
Of
and this
the
house
sales
is,
price,
Yeah,
right?
and this house is listed at 3.33 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, if somebody's interested, the earnest money deposit to put down?
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yep.
Now, if somebody's interested, I'm gonna have a link in the description below, so that way you can reach on out to Darin and hopefully give me a call, so that way we can put this deal together
let's
ourselves.
do it, man.
Because we haven't done a deal yet
No,
together.
not yet, man.
But I want
Not
to.
yet. I have a feeling it's on this house.
There you go. But is there anything else that you would like to mention before we let them go?
No, man, I appreciate it. I just, I think that, if anybody's looking in the market right now, they're trying to decide what area of town. I know most people are exploring Henderson or Summerlin. I think they should definitely come out here and take a look in the Northwest and see what's happening, because now is the time to get in out here. And of course, you and I both know there's no better time to get into a community than in that first phase when they're starting, because that's when you're going to gain the most value in your home.
That's why I asked him, do you have anything at 1.7? He said no.
Nope.
I'm bought out of the market, guys. But Darin, I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, until next time, be blessed. Peace.
Thank you.